widespread. For example, somebody gets a degree in mechanical engineering from here, a master's of technology degree from here, then he goes to one of the Indian Institute of Management, gets a management degree in marketing, and then later goes on selling shampoos and soaps. Is that desirable? I would like to point out specifically on this. Not the boundaries, of course, are getting less and less, and the specializations are merging. But selling soap and engineering, they don't have. What's your opinion about this?
The child really wants, or what he likes. That's where the whole problem is. So when he lands up selling soaps after doing engineering,
we are not discussing that. See, let's look at the Indian GDP. We talk of the service sector, we talk of market value. Indian GDP is about 50% on the service sector. We've got manufacturing, mining manufacturing, that's about 26, and we've got agriculture at 22%. Look at China. China has got 9 times, I think on the current basis it's about 4 times our GDP. And you look at the breakup there. One of the biggest reasons for their success in the manufacturing sector is higher than the service sector. And in India, all this, I don't want to call it hype, there are market forces, but I think as a society we have to also think, and that's not being talked about enough, that we are missing out in this, in growing this manufacturing sector. And we have to remember, today you have 70% of your working population dependent on 22% of your GDP, that's agriculture. And really, 70 or 16, that's about it. So really, if you have to create jobs, service sector is not the only answer. The big problem that you're going to face is this transformation where over the next 20, 30 years, the agriculture may come down to 10% of the GDP. How do you shift this workforce that will require jobs and employment opportunities? So you really have to concentrate on manufacturing. And the Chinese success story has been that. So we, as we speak in various forums, we have to talk about that manufacturing is a neglected sector. And that's where we, from Indian context, we have to, all of us who are thought leaders, who, who lead education initiatives, that we have to really get into this issue of how do we really focus on the manufacturing sector, get the skills in there, and really develop it, and where we become maybe 35-40% of the GDP becomes the manufacturing sector. So I'd like to, what Sumit was trying to make a point that, yes, as we counsel, as we talk, as we speak in forums, we just can't leave it to the market force. Market forces will work, but at one end, other voices have to be made. We have to start talking and thinking in these ways, and then once we start talking and thinking, I think directionally we will start moving.
The market forces is something which is a given. And at the end of the day, as I said already when I submitted, individuals will do what they feel is best for them. And that's what market force is. So I'm getting a higher salary today, I'm getting a better quality of life today, why the hell should I go and join some other job, which is paying me less and giving me a worse quality of life. But the point is this good for him in the long run? Is the point. Is this person educated enough, emancipated enough? Does he have a broader horizon? Does he have to, just like he has come here to learn, he has to also learn about the ways of life. I know of hundreds of people who have passed out from engineering colleges, have done MBAs, have gone into finance, have gone into marketing, and have become total failures. Total failures. Just yesterday I had to ask somebody like that to go MBA from IIM because of lack of performance. I mean, it is not just that I just go out from an engineering college, go into an MBA, and just come to the core topic of today. The core topic of today is not about the mistakes that we do in counseling our children before they choose their coming to the engineering college. The topic of today is having come to the engineering college. Is the internal brain drain right or wrong? Or what can be done about it? That's the topic of the day. So, coming to that point, Mr. Krishnamurthy, who is doing the productivity initiative of the government of India, and he is a Maruti and SAIL and he is a stalwart in India on manufacturing and productivity. He, along with Japanese institutes, have developed a program which is called Manufacturing Excellence, which is IIM Calcutta and IIT Chennai. It's a one-year program which is to develop people for core manufacturing activities, to develop resources which will drive manufacturing growth of India, what Mr. Paul was talking about. The service sector is not going to generate the jobs that the country needs. Jobs that this country needs are for unskilled and semi-skilled people out in the outback. Service sector is going to generate jobs which are elitist jobs. Service sector is going to take a lot of resources from ourselves. Now today, Bangalore is completely congested. What is the service sector IT given to Bangalore? They are not doing anything. Apart from income tax which has gone to the coffers of the government. But when a plant is made, when a Reliance makes something in Jamnagar, or when some company makes a steel plant in Jharkhand, along with that plant comes a whole lot of infrastructure, whole lot of roads, hospitals, schools. The whole area gets uplifted. Unskilled and semi-skilled people get jobs, and that is what we need, and that is what China has got, but we haven't got. And we will not get if we keep on focusing on service sector. And if we keep on talking about service sector, and if we keep on, even at the leadership level, at the emancipated level, at the levels where people are knowledgeable, there also we are not conscious about this differentiation. And we cannot guide our people properly. That if in the first, it is not that somebody, if engineers are today being asked that they have to go, they should go for their own sake and work for 5 or 10 years in a manufacturing industry or in a research and development establishment for their own sake. I think it is a good idea because even in American universities, even in IIMs today, they have started adding much more marks and weightage to people who have come with 5 years experience. And it makes sense because the world is today full of people. I can tell you, I am a practicing manager. The world is today full of people at senior levels, and at CEO levels, I can tell you. At CEO levels, at CEO levels, whose only skill is to guide people and get results. But they have no skills, no knowledge to guide people for improvement and performance. Today, the whole world is full of CEOs and CEOs who are only able to say, I want this done tomorrow. And if you are not able to do it, look for another job. This is what the whole world is now full of. And 40-year-old, 30-year-old CEOs, but they are unable to guide people in how to achieve those. And they will never be role models. Because they are unable to guide, and this is where the career development, the counseling to these engineers who are passing out, the counseling has to happen from this aspect, that